Is your mind inside your brain, or is your brain inside your mind? Is the mind what the brain does, or is the brain what the mind does? So of course, if you ask materialist scientists today, the majority of neuroscientists would say that the mind is a product of the brain. And yet the hard problem remains. How does neurochemistry translate into sensations, images, thoughts, feelings, or images, or anything that we call subjective experience? There's no scientific theory, and there is no possibility at the moment of a good scientific theory, because everybody is kind of stymied by how physical chemistry can create consciousness. So an alternative that I suggest, and many others have suggested, is the opposite, that what we experience in consciousness are qualia, which are forms of consciousness within consciousness, in the form of sensations, images, feelings, and thoughts. And this is the sum total of what we call the objective world, including the brain and the body. In other words, the brain is the symbolic representation of qualia networks in a living entity, whether it's a human entity or another biological organism. This is a very important thing to recognize, that if the brain is what the mind does, then where is the mind? And what is the mind? And here I am suggesting that the mind is a conglomerate, or you might say a gestalt, or you might say a collection of qualia experiences, and all experiences within consciousness, and therefore the mind is non-local in a larger domain or matrix of non-locality. This domain is personal, collective, universal. And this question is pivotal in trying to understand the mystery that we call God. If you can see this is my next book. It's called God, A Story of Revelation. And when I do my next installment of in this series of mind, brain, etc., consciousness, I will talk about a historic meeting, which is in this book in one of the chapters, between Einstein and the great Indian philosopher, poet Tagore, who also took my position, and Einstein, who took what is called the realist position. And I'll let you decide for yourself. But the meeting that took place in the 1930s was indeed historic, and it's in one of the chapters in this book. Sorry for the bad projection. Here you are. Okay. Now this question is also addressed by Rupert Sheldrake in his book Science Set Free, in a scientific manner. But here is exactly on this pivotal point is the meeting place between science and spirituality. Would love to hear your comments on this. Is the mind in the brain, or is the brain in the body? Thank you.